And that's how the theme song goes. Welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. And if you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Big breath, big inhale there. Go there. Let's pretend that I did not just do this intro 4 to 5 times because the microphone was not picking up inside of Audition. This Blue Yeti microphone is very expensive, and Audition was very expensive. This laptop is very expensive, so I expect it all to work when I need it to. So I'd appreciate that. World of computers and technologies. It's just like when I have an Android phone that's about 3 years old, and I got it almost 3 years ago. And it's a Google phone. It's a Nexus 6P, and things sometimes just don't work on it. I try to take it for all of my job. Well, for 2 of my jobs, I need to be able to take a picture or a text or answer a phone call or at the snap of some fingers. You know, it's funny. It's not funny. It's really infuriating. I'm in the middle of recording the Constitutionals. If you just heard me talk about a phone and then it just jumped to this, it's because Audition crashed on me. I don't understand what's going on, but just because I talked about this computer not working, it's going to start doing some finessing me right now, and I just don't have the energy or time for this. I'm very angry at you, all 3 of you. Audition, the laptop, and the microphone. Microphone's working fine now, hopefully. I mean, the waveforms look great. I got to watch this thing this entire time. It's not what I want to do. Anyway, but like I was saying, I was trying to open up Google Maps and Waze, not at the same time, both at separate times. It was first Waze, and then it just didn't work. And then I go to Google Maps. It just didn't work. It wouldn't pick me up on the highway. It's picked me up all the time. You know, but luckily I have sense memory. I mapped out. I have a map in my head. What is it called? A cognitive map. That's what it's called. I learned that from AP Psychology as a senior in high school. I think I got a C in that class. But I learned that from, a cognitive map. I have a cognitive map in my head of where my first appointment was going to be. And I got there just in the nick of time to start that appointment. All right, let's move on. Yes, last week I talked about in the 52 episode spectacular. Welcome to a new season of the Constitutionals Podcast. I assume seasons are once a year, so welcome to that. I was talking about going to see Blockers in an empty theater, and guess what I did? I went to see Blockers, and hold on. I was talking about going to see Blockers. I ended up seeing it on that Tuesday, the Tuesday that this episode came out, and I was the only person in the theater, and it was so great. I walked in there. I walked in at the movie started at 2:00. I got there at 2:15. I went to the counter to go buy my ticket. I went to the robot. I didn't want to talk to somebody. The guy greeted me and I came in. I was like, "No, sir, I'm going to the robot." Bought my ticket with the robot. The guy called me over regardless to the counter. He's like, "I gotta take your ticket." And I said, "Oh, fine." I thought he was calling me over because he saw the snacks in my pocket and the water bottle that was just coming right out of my cardigan. I wore a cardigan. It was chilly that day. It wasn't hot and it wasn't cold, but it was very chilly. It wasn't chilly. It was just windy, and I just wanted to wear a cardigan. Any excuse to wear a cardigan. Anyway, I saw it. It was great. I had a really fun time with it. Kay Cannon is a fantastic director. I also thought she wrote it. She did not. The movie was written by Brian Cahoe and Jim Cahoe, John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Eben Russell. I don't know the Cahoe brothers, but the rest of them I know, and they're fine. I thought it was a film that was written with less people, more diverse people, less and more diverse people. The cast was great though. Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz, John Cena. John Cena did a great job. Everything I've heard about John Cena is that he's not uptight, but he's very militaristic. He's very serious. Apparently, Kay Cannon, she was talking about how on Jesse Thorne's podcast, her most effed up day or something like that, that she and John Cena when John Cena auditioned for the movie, she flew on from one movie to that for 24 hours to see John Cena audition. He had flown straight from Australia. She came in. She tried to give him a hug or a handshake or something, and he put his hand up. He said, I have not had enough time to prepare for this. But I hope you enjoy it. And he just did his thing. I don't know. I assume John Cena is just one of the nicest guys in the world, like Dwayne Johnson, but less charisma. Ike Barinholtz did a fantastic job. He should. It's crazy that these Mad TV people are coming out of the woodwork right now with all of these great gigs. You know, of course, you got Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, and then you've got Ike Barinholtz, Ard Marin, Nicole. Let's see, Daniel Gaither. I just named the last two people are mostly just improvisers now, but regardless, they're still. I mean, it's great. I like it. I like seeing these people come out. The Revival wasn't good, though. I think I reviewed The Revival. Revival was terrible. Bobby Lee's doing well. Nicole Sullivan was her last name. Will Sasso's doing a fantastic job right now in life. Everybody's doing well. I'm happy for him. It's very strange to see Mad TV and SNL people in movies. Like SNL, the last 7 years have produced so many great movie stars versus, their first 7 years not the first 7 years, you can choose any year from pre-2005, and a lot of those people are just skimming the surface of fame. But then you got Jason Sudeikis, who's just on You Made It Weird. He was fantastic. I learned so much about him. He's such a cool guy. Kristen Wiig and Nassim Pedrad and just so many people. Doing so well. I love it. Blockers is great. Go see it. Gary Cole, if you want to see his dingle, it's in it. It's there. I knew it was coming. And I kept thinking, oh, there he is. We're going to see his dingle. Oh, my gosh. And then let's see what else happened. Okay. So, a few months ago, I did an episode where that was not chronicling, but it was covering Lunch Party. That's what the episode was called. It was about how I have a bunch of friends who are doing music stuffs. So one of them that wasn't included in any of those groups, he does this thing called On the Hill. That's his. I think that's his production company, label name, and he has a video out called for a song called Lemon. Now, I'd known this guy for a few years now, and I was shooting something with somebody. I was shooting the News Time episode with Greg, where Greg hosted, and you've seen Greg. Yeah, all two of you listening have seen Greg. And then he invited me to Drew's music video shoot at somebody's house to shoot this music video. Is how typically music videos are shot, to shoot this music video. And I obliged, and I said, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything. It's a Saturday night. I'm not doing anything. I went over, and we're in the basement of somebody's house. There is so the song is called Yellow, and there's so many different, there's yellow cups, yellow drinks, yellow alcohol, yellow only yellow snacks, and yellow rubber duckies that I have four. I have 4 yellow rubber duckies still sitting in my room. They're sitting next to my Nintendo Switch charging base. But anyway, I urge you to go look up this music video. It's shot really well. They shot it with the red camera, which is really nice. But then at strange points in this music video, you just see me, and I do not fit in. There is one person in this video that doesn't fit in. I just pulled up myself right now. Go to the 45-second mark, and you can see me, my glasses, a flannel shirt, a Columbia jacket, and I just don't look like I fit in at all. But you know what? I had a good time. The music video looks good, and I'm glad it's finally out. That was 6 months ago. I'm scratching my beard. That was 6 months ago. Not 6. That was 4 months ago. Even still, that was a long time. But they did a good job with this music video. He put out a new song. Go follow him. Go follow Drew online. It's at DREW_OTH. And then at On the Hill Music. Check it out. It's good. It's The mixtape is called Vibe. Listen to it. Get into it. Okay, moving on. Jason Aldean had an album out. I don't know. I really wanted to bring this up for some reason. Jason Aldean has an album out, and it's good. I listen. I like Jason Aldean. He's a good guy. It's called Rearview Town. I was listening to it earlier today. It's a lot of. Now he's a country artist, and I've grown up in the South. I went to school in Chattanooga, so I had to mold myself into liking stuff like this, and I really enjoyed it. I liked his last album too, which was not Train Tracks. What is it called? Oh God, I own it. Night Train. That's not the last album, but that's the one I bought. That is the first album I bought by Jason Aldean. I skipped 2 albums and then I just come straight to Rearview Town. I'll check out the other ones. Maybe, I don't know. It's nothing like Casey Musgraves. Whereas Casey Musgrave is like 80s. That wasn't really 80s. It was like disco, so 70s. So whereas she's like 70s pop country, he is rock country. I would say for this album especially is just mostly rock country, and it's a lot of I don't want to say hits, a lot of good upbeat songs that I had a good time with. He sure can sing some songs, and they all, I'm not going to say they all sound the same, but they all do kind of have the same characteristics, where it's he's a man, and he's singing some songs, and he's very happy and excited. I don't know how to characterize these songs. They're all upbeat. They all have this twang to it that's not the usual country affair. It's this country music that really stands out. Versus, like, if you go to like Luke Bryan is frat boy country. This is, I would say, country rock. Casey Musgraves is country pop. Lady Antebellum is country folk. Is that what you would say? Because I don't think they're country pop, but I don't think they're folk. Maybe country indie. But that's too far. Darius Rucker's real country. Funny enough, he's one of the few blacks. So there's that. Then there's a Cardi B album, of course. Cardi B is great. Still listening to that one. That's the most concise one of all the albums that have come out. Really, besides there's a lot of hip hoppers that have come out in the past few months that have just had these. Well, not even just hip hop. It's a lot of pop and rock and all this stuff, but that I've had really just these long albums that are 15, 17, 18 songs long, sometimes 40. If you're looking at Quality Control by Migos, Lil Yachty, and somebody else I forgot. I think it's Travis Scott. I don't believe that is true. But Quality Control has 40 tracks, and they, ooh, boy, do they all suffer. All of them suffer. And I'm not going to say one of them's good. I'm just going to say they all suffer. But Cardi B's is it's fantastic. She's only got a few features on it, and she can really hit a wide swath of musical tastes. I mean, she's got I Like It is so good. I really like I Like It, which is a take on the 1960s song I Like It Like That. I think that's what it's called. I Like It Like That. You know what I'm talking about. And then it starts off really good. It starts off with Get Up 10 is that it feels like an intro from a Meek Mill record. Free Meek, and then Bacon Head is talking about is a riff on the original song Chicken Head. I believe that's what it was called too. Then that song that no one's ever heard of, Bojack Yellow. Got the Migos. I've been saying that joke inside my head ever since the album came out. I've never heard this song, Bojack Yellow. I'd actually never heard it all the way through. It's very true. I never heard it all the way through until I listened to this album, because I don't listen to singles, and I assumed last summer when that song came out that the album was coming soon. So I said I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna listen to it. And then that's what the same thing I have with Taylor Swift. Same thing I have with U2. I said I'm not gonna listen to I should have done that with Ray Shrimmin, because they have that triple album coming out. It's gonna be one Sway Lee, one oh boy, I don't know the other guy's name. Oh boy, do I feel bad. Ray Shrimmin. It's one Sway Lee and one Slim Jimmy. That's it, you idiot. One Sway Lee, one Slim Jimmy, and then they're gonna do a whole album too. So that's 3 albums. I believe it's a triple release, a 3-album release. That's coming at some point. But anyway, like I was saying, they put out, I think, 5 or 6 of those songs, like Perplexing Pegasus. I listened to that way too much. And then Nicki Minaj came out with some singles. Very strange. Not very strange. I think it was planned. We all know it was planned. We all know it was planned. She came out with singles, and they're good. Chun-Li's great. I like Chun-Li. Barbie Tings is better, though. Barbie Tings is exactly as you think it was going to be. I don't know why I'm deleting all this stuff from the Constitutional's notes. I shouldn't do that because I got to write the thing later. I don't know why I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm telling you. I went out yesterday again. I had another date. It was good. We went to a restaurant? No, I know. Oh yeah. I made brunch. And we went downtown. We ate outside. I thought it was gonna be sunny. Obviously it wasn't. So it was very cold and rainy. But we still ate it, and then we walked around, threw the stuff back in the car, walked around. Had a good time. It was a good time. She really made me laugh very hard. And I mean, it's like I'm pulling for time here, but I'm not. I really did want to add this to the registry. It's very strange. I'm watching I've seen a lot of the new episodes of American Dad, and it's a very strange show. It's on right now is what I'm saying. It's a very strange show, and I'm so glad that Fox didn't pick it up, and I'm glad that TBS did, because if it wasn't on TBS, it wouldn't be able to get as weird as it has gotten in the past, I would say 7 or 8 years. See, Fox dropped it when it was in like season 7 or 8. And then now I think TBS picked it up for a couple of seasons, but now they picked it up it's on season 12 right now, but they picked it up till 15. And the last 5 or 6 years have just been a wonderful renaissance for this show, because it just tells these weird, dark, strange, disgusting, terrible jokes that are so funny that really make it stand out in this adult cartoon game. Like Archer's fine at everything, and it differentiates itself from South Park, and South Park is different from Bob's Burgers, and Bob's Burgers is different from Family Guy. Family Guy is different from The Simpsons. The Simpsons is different from American Dad. Are those the only adult cartoons? Well, there's BoJack Horseman, of course. Ofcourseman. You got to be able to make yourself laugh. What if I did that without breaking? BoJack Horseman, of course. I want to get that tattooed. That's going to be the name of this episode, BoJack Horseman, of course. Oh my gosh. I did it, and that is how I do it. BoJack Horseman, of course. I'll write that down. Man, no one listens to this show. It's fine. It's fine in the fine space. Okay, and then finally, there's that Lost in Space TV show on Netflix. I have not. I don't think I didn't even see the original, but I did start watching this new one, which is unique, because I never, ever start watching a show that's on Netflix. It's true. I stopped doing it. Actually on streaming, actually. I don't ever start things as soon as, like, I was just watching the new SNL with John Mulaney was hosting, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm not done with it, but it's very funny so far. And they did a spoof of Wild Country. Is that what it's called? Wild Wild Country or Wild Wild Country? I don't know. I don't care. It's a documentary series about the guy from India who creates a cult in a small American town. Apparently, it's very disturbing and deranged. I'm not going to watch it. I just finished the Berkeley Marathons, which is a fantastic documentary about marathon runners who spend 60 hours. I think it's 60 hours over the course of 3 days running a race, and they get all cut up and torn up and everything. Anyway, SNL did a spoof of that, and it was funny enough because I knew what the documentary is about. And then, there's an Andre the Giant documentary that's on HBO, and an Elvis Presley documentary. They put out the Gary Shandling doc. They put out the Elvis doc, which is also 2 parts, and then they have the Andre the Giant one. That's crazy. HBO is killing it in the month of April for documentaries. That's insane. I hope they did not blow their load for the summer because that would suck so much. And I do like what they usually do. What's going on here? Okay. So, I think that the Lost in Space, it's a very, Supergirl was on the night. I said, what is this show? This is Supergirl. I'm getting ready for Eyes Off. I haven't seen Supergirl in like 5 weeks, and since like the past 5 episodes. Anyway, I think I haven't. So I watched the first few minutes of this new Lost in Space. I've been reading. Another thing I don't usually do. I've been reading reviews for it, and it just apparently it's lifeless. Blah blah blah. Lifeless because it's a space show or whatever. And it really gets me thinking. A lot of what Netflix puts out. Again, this is the company that is spending $8 billion this year alone on shows, on what they call content, on shows and movies and stuff, and that's just acquiring. That's like, so a lot of these things can just already be in production, and then Netflix can be acquiring it. It's not like they just created it out of the blue, and then these things are created in a year. That's just not how TV works, but a lot of what they have, again, is quantity over quality. Like I really genuinely do not think they care about how a show is received in terms of critics. I think they really only care about, and I want to put this as mildly as possible because I would love for them to pick up any one of the shows that I have ideas for. Dead serious. But I can't even pull up Netflix on my laptop right now. There's something weird going on with Chrome. I would say but they have a lot of quantity over quality, and that's the issue with these shows and everything. Just because you can put out a comedy special every week doesn't mean you should. And I don't care if out of the 52 you put out, if 20 of them are from around the world, that it still doesn't help that you're giving every single comedian a special. Now, I'm not saying that every comedian doesn't deserve a special, but there comes a point, where we're getting a Comedy Central special and getting an HBO special. Those were forgive the meaning, but they were special. Forgive the use of words. But like right now on Trending Now, Fastest Car is a TV show. Then, of course, we got Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity. That's fine. A Series of Unfortunate Events. That's fine. Wild Wild Country. That's fine. My Next Guest. That's fine. But then we have something called Troy, Fall of a City, with people that I don't even heard of. Now, I mean, the picture looks nice and everything. I'll probably check it out. But Money Heist. This is from a different country, and I feel bad for not making fun of it, but The Titan, which I've read a review for, and apparently it doesn't stand, it's not that good. What is Orbiter 9? See, they're just picking things up. Just picking things up is just to say that they have it. That's kind of why, besides Amazon has issues with their own video section. When I talked to, and this is all covered in this week's News Time. Oddly enough, I didn't want to talk about Netflix this week, but here we go. It's all covered in News Time. But at least Amazon Prime is picking up things that it tries to contend with. And I do have a very big issue with Jeff Bezos trying to be the HBO streaming networks, which is nonsense. Just either why would you cancel? They canceled Mozart in the Jungle and One Mississippi, both critically acclaimed shows, especially Mozart in the Jungle, which has won Golden Globes all around the board. I think it's been nominated for Emmys, but then they canceled it because it's not a broad enough show. They want Game of Thrones. They want Game of Thrones season 5. What season? What was the last season? The last season that was a truncated season, and it was very dumb. It had a lot of dumb episodes. And I say dumb because I was able to follow it. And I've never been able to follow this show. I've rewatched the show, and I've never been able to follow it. But then I watched that season, and then I thought, oh, this is easy, So here's the thing. Amazon Prime has a lot of great things to offer. They got Creed. They got Captain Fantastic, Spectre. I think they have all the James Bonds. That might be Hulu. They got There Will Be Blood, Magnificent Seven, Hugo, Chef, 13 Hours. They have all of these, Me Before You. They have all these great, amazing movies. And then sometimes you look down and they have, not knocking the show because I love the show, Zach Morris's Trash from Funny or Die. And it's a web series. They have a lot of web series on here, which is with a big issue that they have, which they shouldn't have. They have their own movies, which is great. They have PBS shows. They have shows that were on Sci-Fi. It's amazing that they have these things, but then they have a lot of crap on there too. Same thing with Netflix, and then Hulu's got varying degrees of its own. But I like Hulu. Hulu's the best one. I've had Hulu and Netflix ever since they were started. So, anyway, I'm going to end this because I'm rambling at this point. What I'm saying is, just because something is big and looks pretty and it's something from your childhood, doesn't mean that it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. Like, case in point, Super Troopers 2 is coming out on 4/20 this Friday. Same day as Nintendo Labo. Also the same day as God of War 4. I'm going to be getting 2 of those, not Super Troopers 2. But if Super Troopers 2 comes out, which is a Kickstarter movie, I have very big issues with that. No one should have to give money to people making a movie. If you're big enough, you can make the movie yourself. Get the funding yourself. So that thing that happened with Joe Dirt, and that's going to happen with Super Troopers. It's going to come out, and it's obviously not going to be as good as the first one, as you remember. The first one is Bing, and those came out in 2000 and 2001. I don't know what year Joe Dirt came out. But that movie's old. They're both old. They're both post 9/11. Who needs? We shouldn't have to give you money, Zach Braff. We shouldn't have to give you money, Broken Lizard, comedy troupe. We shouldn't have to give you money, David Spade. You don't need it. Just make the movie. You can get funding other ways. Now, I should have brought this up before, or in the middle of this rambles. He's in shambles. Rambles and Shambles. Now, that's a new zombie TV show that I'm starting up. Rambles and Shambles. He's just a guy trying his best. Yeah, he died, and now he wants to do right by his family. Okay, I brought this up. I want to mention something. I got this. There's a new thing coming to town, to New York, in July, I believe. Is it July? Yeah. July 21st and 22nd. If you like comedy, and if you like music, but mostly this is a comedy website, if you like comedy, then you will love OZY Fest. OZY Fest is New York's answer to South by Southwest. It's music, thought, politics, comedy festival, all that stuff. And they just announced their 2018 lineup. Of course, we have Common, Young the Giant, Group Love, and then we've got Laverne Cox and Tay Diggs. But then, this is why you're here for it, we got comedy people that you know and that you love. Chelsea Handler from the Chelsea Handler TV show. Hassan Minaj from The Daily Show. Michelle Wolf from her upcoming show on HBO. And they got authors Malcolm Gladwell, Steven Pinker, Roxanne Gay. You know those people. Celebrity chefs like Roy Choi. Then we got Jameel Hill and Scott Rukowski. I hope I pronounced that last name right. Oh, from HQ. Yeah, I like that guy. That guy's great. And Martha Stewart. There's so many things, so many people. If you like comedy, you like music, you like thoughts, you like politics, then you're going to love the OZY Fest. OZY Fest. Those are 2 different words. It's part music festival, part TED Talk, and part food fair. You can just go and see who was at last year's. They have a video up online. They got Samantha Bee, Joe and Jill Biden. Mark Cuban was there last year. Jason Derulo, RuPaul, Zara Larson. So many more people. I'm going to click on the video. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check out this video as I do this. It's not an ad read because I'm not getting paid for it. But as I do this read, there's so many people there. Eddie Wong. Man, this is great. This looks fantastic. This is New York City's hottest summer festival. Oh my gosh. This looks amazing. Everybody's having a good time. They're having talks and stuff. This looks like a great thing to experience. Like I said, if you want to see Chelsea Handler, Hassan Minaj, Michelle Wolf, Malcolm Gladwell, Roy Choi, Common, Scott Rogowski, I should not have chosen him again, Jameel Hill, then you should definitely go to OZY Fest, July 21st, 22nd in Central Park. It's going to take it over at Central Park. Get into it. All right. That's the end of this episode. That's the end of the Constitutionals with Chad White. If you like this, all right, I was trying to end the episode, and of course, Audition crashed on me again. I'm gonna leave it in. I'm not gonna edit any of this out. I want you to sense my frustration. If you like this, you can head on over to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits. You know what? I'm like, I haven't done news or features or reviews in a month. I haven't done either of those. I got an interview with our good friend. I probably should have mentioned that. But I do have an interview next week, so we'll see that. We'll see. You'll listen to it after the end of the episode next week. You can always follow us on Twitter at C+ Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the good. That's news time. That's how news time ends. Like us on Facebook. Go to the webpage, youtube.com/C+Comedy to watch News Time. It's our flagship show. It's a news show that comes out every week on a Monday at 9 o'clock. This week's episode is about Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. What happened? They had a whole bunch of things happen to them within the past couple of weeks. Netflix is fighting with Cannes Film Festival. Hulu has some specials with Spotify and HBO. And Amazon, Jennifer Salk, new head of Amazon Studios, is giving people jobs left and right. So there you go. Watch it. It's good. I really like it a lot. Follow us on Instagram at C+ Comedy. All right. That's the end of this episode. I appreciate you for listening and sticking to it. Okay.